welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Happy New Year. I know I've still got the Christmas tree up. I am filming this in advance, but I basically just want to go through with everybody what did and didn't work for me in 2019 and basically what I'm going to change for 2020. It is mainly about one type of subject, and that is the planner that I got. And it's just other different things as well what did and didn't work for me. So if people are in the same circumstance or could relate to this, then that would be great. But the first thing that I'm going to talk about is, this planner. This one is it's a law of attraction planner basically. I do like law of attraction. But this planner I love this planner because it goes into a lot of detail. But for me, it went into too much detail at some points. So at the beginning, you get asked a load of questions about the goals you want to achieve, what's stopping you from doing it, the rewards that you get, and also what you can do to achieve them. And yeah, you just go through that and make a plan. You do kind of like a vision board of what you want to achieve. And then you go through and it tells you what you want to achieve within 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. That part I loved. The only part that I found a little bit too much was the daily stuff. So they'd have weekly targets, monthly targets, and that was just too much for me. Like I said, I loved the making a plan of what's going to happen and how am I going to get there, because it made me think about things, because a lot of people don't quite get with law of attraction. If you're just having it, or you think of having it, you don't just receive it, you have to work hard. And the way of law of attraction works is if you write a plan and you keep looking at that plan, even though you are working hard to get it, subconsciously you'll do things anyway to try and achieve it. So it's not just about sit back, relax, and it's going to come to you. You have to work for it as well. So that's what I like about that planner, because it gave me an action plan of what I wanted to do, what I want to achieve it by. But I just didn't there was like a 3 monthly target, and then there was the short-term targets. There was like 3 monthly targets, and then what I want to achieve at the end of the year. And then there was further ones where it's like 5, 10, 15 years and so forth, which is good at the long run to look back at. So I'm definitely going to keep it so I can look back at them. But yeah, the 3 month one, and also like I said, the monthly ones and the weekly ones were just too much and too much pressure. This year I've decided to get these. I got these from DIDN. I didn't realise until after I bought them that they're match. I have bought a 12-month planner, a diary. I haven't bought this for the diary there. I haven't bought it for the reasons that I have bought this mainly for my food diaries, because I like having a food diary and telling me what I want to eat and whatnot. And I thought, food diary of having just 1 day worth. I just do evenings, so meals in my food diary. So I thought just using a regular diary is going to be cheaper, it's going to save me money. But I bought also this notepad as well, and I'm basically going to be treating this like that, but putting the things in there that I want. So for example, I'm going to read a couple of things out. There's a few things obviously that I didn't achieve and there's a few things that I did. Right, I'll tell you the ones that within a year, because personally there was, like I said, there was ones where I had 3 months in there, but I think 3 months is just too, I think it's just too much. I think if you aim for a year, it gives you plenty of time. So even if you're not completely focused on it, it gives you time to do it basically. So my 3 months goals, I don't think any of them got hit, because and I put so much pressure on myself to try and hit them, and when I didn't hit them, obviously it gives you, it's like a knock on it. You don't make you feel very nice. So I think aiming for a year to do, I don't know, I think there's 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So yeah, 5 in a year, I think that's completely fine, as long as they're kind of doable to a point. So I can't say in a year's time I want to be a millionaire, because that's not going to happen, or in a year's time I want to win the lottery. You've got to be when making goals, you have to be, it's called a SMART. So it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. So you can't say that in a year's time you're going to win the lottery, because you can't control that. So you need to basically, be specific, of what you want and things like that. Obviously measurable, give yourself a time, achievable, you know you're going to hit it, well, you think you're going to be hitting it, you just don't know when type thing, but you want to, I want to do it in the year. And then realistic and time-based. So my 5 goals for 2019 were, have an answer about my health. I'm still kind of, I have an answer about my health, I don't have it in writing. So I have fibro, and basically I've been fighting, I've had it for 4 years, and I've been told a lot of times that it is fibro by the doctor, but they're not diagnosing it. They said they're not diagnosing it because I'm already on the medications that you have for fibro, so what's the point of doing it? They also state that they're doing more tests, and if that test comes back as negative, then they're going to diagnose it. Comes back negative, they don't diagnose it. They've also said many times, we'll bring it up in our team meeting at the doctor's and see if there's anything else we can do for you, and I'll give you a call back after. They don't call me back, none of them. That's been told to me twice. And basically they say I have fibro. The last doctor I said, well, with fibro this happens, that happens. So basically they told me that I'm always going to be in pain no matter what. That's just what fibro is. But I was like, so I have fibro, and they went, but it's not diagnosed. So yeah, I have an answer about my health. It is just not in writing, which is what I'm aiming for next, is to basically have it in writing. Some people, they think having fibro, me being like officially diagnosed with it, they say there's no point in that. I don't know if it costs money for a diagnosis, who knows, but they seem to be against diagnosing it, even though they said I have it. But to me, having it as in writing and being like, I have fibro, I have this, instead of saying, I have problems with my trapezius muscle, my neck and my shoulders, but I also suffer with my legs. I have repetitive strain in my wrist, and also non-support in my tendons in my foot. So I get a lot of pain in my wrist, my knee, my foot, my neck, my shoulders and my arms. There's just, I can't say that to a person, saying I have fibro. It's just easier. I'm saying that now anyway, but at the back of my mind, I'm like, but you don't. But I do. Does that make sense? Because even though I've not been diagnosed with it and I say I do have it, it's putting that thought at the back of my mind that when I say people that I have fibro, I'm like, am I lying? Do you know what I mean? So I want it in paper, I want it in writing, then I have it, and then I'll feel better. So that one is, I have an answer about my health because they've told me it is fibro, and they've given me a treatment plan, and they've basically told me that I'm always going to be like this. So I have got an answer, which I'm not being too specific on that one. That's probably why I have an answer about my health, but I need to next write, I want a diagnosis. That's what I'm going to write in this planner. So that is true. I do have an answer about my health, but I wasn't specific enough for a diagnosis. Right. The next one was for Andrew to get all the support he needs at school because he can struggle. Obviously I wrote these at the beginning of 2019, and he's got that. It is great. And again, I kind of wrote the wrong thing. What, in a sense, for him, I also want him for getting a diagnosis. So he was through the diagnosis process, and then they completely just dropped him for no reason at all. And they basically said that they want to wait until he is struggling more before they diagnose him. Yeah, it's very similar to my circumstance, basically, where Andrew is now getting all the support he does need, which is absolutely amazing, which in a way I wanted that first before a diagnosis, but it's the same. I then want him to get the diagnosis so he then can get further support, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to have to wait and see on that one, but again, I don't think I was very specific. Next time I need to be a bit more specific on my goals, because the next one is be a healthy size 10. I'm currently wearing a size 12. Let me see. I'm not really a size 10, I'm more a size 12, but I'm currently wearing a dress that is a size 10. I went and had a look. I think I just need to be more specific because I am not a size 12. I wanted to be size 10, I'm not a size 10, I am a size 12. I wanted to be size 10 everywhere, including like jeans, but I have to get size 12 in most jeans. The only jeans I can get away with in a size 10 are from Next because they're very generous. So yeah, I can fit in a healthy size 10 clothes, but not all of them. So I think I just need to be more specific in my goals and stuff, because that is just way, you know, it's come true, but not in the way I wanted it to be. The next one is going to Disneyland with the kids. Obviously that's happened, so a big tick, and that's gone to plan. I suppose I couldn't be any more specific in that. The next one is get a new sofa and chair, which I have. This is my new chair, this is my new sofa. It wasn't the ones I planned on getting, so on my vision board I had black leather ones in mind, but I prefer these. So I'm glad I want specific in the goal setting, but different in the vision board. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go through again and set 5 goals for the year that I'd like to hit. But next time I just need to be a little bit specific, more specific, and also yeah, not making any 3-month goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, anything like that, because that is the only thing that I really did not like. Because if I didn't hit those goals, it didn't make me feel good at all. But also having a health condition, which basically means I don't know when I'm going to be really, really bad, or I'm going to be, basically I'm always in pain. So there's certain things that I can't do anyway because they cause pain, or they just cause like really tiredness in my body. But then when I have massive flare-ups, or when I'm not that great, especially like at night time and stuff, I can really struggle. I need to give myself time and leeway and not put pressure on myself. So that's the only thing that I'm not going to do. So I'm giving myself enough time a year to hit 5 goals and basically aim for that, but not put too much pressure on myself where I put too much stress on myself, causing me to have another flare up, and then it just works in a big circle. Because I have a flare up, it stresses me out even more, which is then it's gonna just keep going around and around and around and around, and then I'm just gonna be really, really stressed and like having flares constantly. So that's something different that I'm going to do. I'm going to set the goals in my notebook, and I'm also going to have a couple of pages where I just stick a load of images everywhere, just like this one. Some of them were small goals, some of them were huge goals, that I really want to do at some point in the future. But yeah, they were just really, really, like, some of them were little things, some of them things that I looked at and I thought, I didn't realise I actually already have that. Like on here was a lot of family things. Like here, for example, there is family walks in the woods, or a Monopoly game set. And yeah, I looked at it and thinking, I already do that. I just never thought about it. I put it down that I just wanted to spend more family time together as a family, and like do adventures and explore, and I didn't realise that that's what I'm kind of doing anyway. So it kind of made me realise certain things too, which was great. Another thing that didn't work for me in 2019, which I am gutted about, is the gym. I started the gym, yeah, right at the beginning of 2019. I basically did it once a week to help with my health. And it helped with my shoulders really well. At the beginning I couldn't barely lift the weight. Basically I had no weights on the machines when I first started, and I had to basically get that movement, and then I developed the movement, and then I built it up. But I then went a bit too into it and decided to go all the time, loads of like spinning and stuff, and basically when I was in pain I'd push through it when it'd make it worse. And now the doctor said to me I can go to the gym, but basically when I have a flare or when I am in pain, I have to listen to my body and take it right back to the beginning. So I've left the gym because I put too much pressure on myself and my body when I go to the gym. And I think that if I then have to go right back to the beginning where I was doing machines without weights, that makes me feel real bad. Because yeah, with the gym, I get very, very angry with myself and with my body when I can't do anything. So there's like a certain machine that you kind of hold in your hand to twist and like twist your upper body. I physically just couldn't do it. And I was so like hard on myself because I just couldn't do this one twist. And I'm like, but people do it with weight. How can I just physically not do it at all? And yeah, it put a lot of pressure on me and my body. And that's the one thing that I'm going to change this year. I am going to change the way I try and think about myself and think about my body, because if you watch Vlogmas, right at the beginning of Vlogmas, when I have been having a flare up, but I'm assuming it's just because it's like December and you know what, it's stressful. The Christmas is stressful. So the beginning of Vlogmas, most of the vlogs was me complaining about my health, complaining about what I couldn't do, complaining I'm in pain all the time. And then after about a week in, I kind of realised that I need to be grateful for what I can do rather than like hate the things that I can't do and put so much pressure on myself and hate my body for. So that's what I'm trying to aim for 2020, is I'm going to try and put less pressure on myself and my body. I'm also going to be grateful and appreciate the things I can do. Like I can walk. Some people can't even do that, and some people can't even move their arms. I can't do a lot with my arms, but at least I can still move them. So yeah, the situation that I'm in is not the greatest, but there is worse out there. So yeah, I am trying to change my mind frame around that and be grateful for the things I can do. And that's going to be basically my focus. I'm going to look after myself a little bit better. But another thing as well that I'm going to do, which I've already started doing anyway in December, because obviously my mind frame, I tried to flip it around, is to accept the help and ask for it if I need it. I'm one of those people that would happily do things in excruciating pain myself than ask for help. So, and that isn't good. It's the same thing with the gym. I'd push through it and push through it because you're meant to get a little bit of pain at the gym. Yeah, instead of my body aching and burning because of the muscle, my body was physically getting unable to lift a certain weight, like even just normal lift I was struggling with. It's the same at home. I can struggle lifting certain things. And yes, it's the same with the gym, with being out and about. Instead of putting my pressure on myself to do it and then be annoyed with myself that I couldn't do it, is to either ask help and listen to my body, or say no, that's another option. And yeah, listen to my body. I've already started making a few changes. So like with the school know about the difficulties I have, and they've helped loads with being able to park in the parking lot. I'm also trying to get help from elsewhere for like the things I basically can get around the house to help and find it easier to do things. So that's the next step I'm going to go for, is finding like utensils and aids to help me with certain things. So because to me, having what's the word, having freedom to do everything myself and being able to do it, I forgot, there's a certain word for it, I can't really remember, but basically being able to do something myself, that's what I want to do. I don't like asking for help, and I like to prove I can do it myself, but there's some things that I just can't do myself, or if I do need help with, or I just need an aid with. For example, walking stick. I was walking before a small distance, and I'd be in excruciating pain just by walking a very, very small distance, like I got just a couple of steps, and because I put all my weight on my one leg, I then just couldn't handle it no more. The pain was too much. But because I was so scared and embarrassed to use a walking stick, but then when I finally did at Disneyland, I then realised how much it actually helped. I realised that I could walk more and have less pain. So instead of me walking just a couple of steps and I'd be in agony, I could walk a lot further and not be in as much pain. I was still in pain obviously, but I'm not going to be in excruciating pain where I have to stop and be like, ow, type thing. But yeah, and just having that aid has made me realise that if it's going to help me, And if it's going to make me be able to be more independent, that's the word, maybe more independent, then I can. Because if I walk one step and then feel like my knee's going to go or I can't walk no more, then that's not going to help anybody. But if I'm using an aid to be able to walk, I can walk further and I can be in less pain. So yeah, that's my aim as well for this year, and I think they're going to probably be my, I'm going to have to probably put them down for my year things, because I think this year I'm going to, instead of focused on my body, I think like I did last year, because obviously I focused on getting help with my body but also being the weight that I wanted to be and all that jazz. I think this time I'm going to focus more on my mind, and instead of writing unrealistic goals like being able to walk without a walking stick or something like that, it's just not achievable, because that probably won't happen. So I think 2020 I am going to focus on my mindset a little bit more, and also be a little bit more like gentle on myself, like don't put so much pressure on myself. So I need to make sure that the targets that I have for my year are not going to put too much pressure on me. And yeah, that's what I'm going to work for next year. I wasn't really aiming to tell you what I was going to do for 2020, but I can say next year, this year. But yeah, they're I think the things that I'm going to focus on, because they're the things that did not work for me last year, and I do want to change that and flip that around. So 2020 would be a better year, but also I'm fed up of feeling I am fed up of feeling sorry for myself, and I don't like other people feeling sorry for myself, so why should I like myself feeling sorry for myself? I should hate that as well. So yeah, I am going to be happy, grateful, and appreciate the things I can do. But that is going to be my biggest goal, and my biggest aims is just to change the way I think and be happy with the way things are, instead of looking at somebody and be like, I want to be able to do that, I want to be able to run with my child. Like Andrew wanted me to do a cross-country run with school. It's like a parent and child thing, and I'm like, mate, I can't walk without pain, so I can't run. And he was let down. So that is my aims for 2020, because it did not work for 2019. Well, like I said, I am going to go through my little book this year, go through similar questions as I did then, seeing what are my aims, what I'm going to do. But yeah, that is what I'm going to change in 2020. I'm going to stop rambling now. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Like I said, in the comments, pop down if you've got any goals for this year, and if you want to share them, that would be great. And yeah, I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you soon. Bye.